Parashakti. Welcome, everyone. It is such an honor to be opening up today this sacred container with one of my most dearest and favorite soul brothers in the world, I will say, Kai. Kai, I met you over a decade ago, and I met you as Ran Baron. And from Ran Baron, you took on the teachings lineage of Prem Narayan. And
Yes, I
today I
forgot.
get to introduce you as a medicine man, my teacher, Kai Karrel. Shalom, shalom.
So good to see you. So much has happened in this, I think, over a decade that we know each other. Definitely much more than the titles and names. There's so much transformation for both of us.
Oh,
So
big.
much has transpired.
Yes. It's phenomenal to watch the ebb and flow of growth and initiation. And I truly have to say that um, my work at Rythmia, what got me prepared for my work at Rythmia was sitting under your umbrella with your teachings, with your wisdom, with celestial hearts. And I'm forever grateful. So to have you now here and to introduce you to the community with all that you bring, with the mission of your soul, is a dear, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic.
I know, knowing you, I can say that you're probably such an amazing, incredible blessing for Rhythmia because of who you are and what you bring and the energy, the wisdom, the knowledge. So they're as blessed to have you under their wings.
Oh, thank you. You know, talking about wings, I have to start with introducing the eagle talking stick, because this has been held in ceremony on Fridays at Dance of Liberation. Over, I would say, 1,000 people, if not more, held this talking stick as we led the dance. And guess, guys, who initiated me to hold this talking stick? My one and only teacher, Kai. And I
And
finally,
it used to be a whole staff, right?
yes,
It's
yes,
shortening with the years.
that's right. Well, it's actually in storage, Kai, in New York. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This makes it easy to travel, and it also makes it easy for the dancers to
To
hold
hold,
and declare what they're returning home with. So after back-to-back 4 ayahuasca ceremonies on a Friday, they step
yeah.
into the calling of the return home, and they get to hold this and be witnessed by the tribe. So thank you for gifting me with the
You
talking.
are you are eagle medicine, that is for sure.
Aho! Aho!
Oh,
So this brings me to the wonderful topic that we are going to journey and embark upon with you. And so what we would love to hear from you is how does the spirit realm communicate within plant medicine? Take the talking stick, my dear.
well, it's interesting because ayahuasca, well, actually all plant medicines, but we will more focus on ayahuasca as the master plant teacher in this conversation, is nothing more than permission for you to interact with the divine beings that are present. It is not that they're not present in this moment, but it is, let's say, easier for you to ignore their presence. It is easier for you to go about your life fulfilling what's called your divine plan, but with not a lot of awareness and consciousness to what's going on. When you're standing there and you're taking this cup of a divine being that is supporting you as a divine being in connecting to the divine beings that are present, what you're doing is giving permission. Because in a way, you have the inside of your brain. You're awakening, you're reconnecting. You're going to take this divine being to bring it to your lips, take it in, and then you're waiting for something grander to occur, for something bigger than you, something that you at the beginning will not have the ability to explain. So we can relate to the experience, and we'll talk more about this, as a healing experience physically. And it is, absolutely. Actually, we recently had an incredible experience with a person who has, I forgot the name of this disease, but really intense stomach issues. He kind of needs to help the body move the food around, goes through a lot of pain. And literally in one night of sitting with the medicine, almost, I won't say he completely healed, but the transformation is unrecognizable. The person can eat, he's back to a normal life. So yes, we constantly see, and I've been on the medicine path for over 10 years now, absolute miracles that it's mind-boggling. It defies everything that we know. However, the miracle that truly happens is the awakening, first and foremost, to the understanding that we are not alone, that there is intelligence behind this experience. And it's interesting because I haven't met many, but there are people who utilize the medicine like, "Oh, there's no spirits, it's just my inner experience." Possible for some, but for most people, the experience is mind blowing in the sense of meeting angels, spirits, ancestors, family, um, archangels, other many different types of beings that support our journey. There's another thing that's important to understand as we're doing this work. We're also coming to awareness of the not so friendly spirits that are present in our lives, whether within ceremony or outside of ceremony. So, utilizing this medicine allows us to come to a much broader understanding of the what we call the perspective of the spiritual arena. Where are we? What are we doing? Me as a human being, as I live my life, in am I in no, in what sort of contact am I? With whom? With what? What is affecting my life? Am I free to make my own choices? Am I under influence from external sources, internal sources? So, kind of back to where this started, we are taking this cup of medicine, and where it leads us is to a deeper and more profound of understanding of the divine mission, why you're here, what is your purpose. I know Eurythmia likes the term miracle, right? It brings about the miracle of yourself. There was a beautiful story about Baal Shem Tov. He's a great rabbi. And one of his disciples went to a different rabbi, and the disciples of the different rabbi said, "What kind of miracles can your rabbi do?" So he said, "Well, what kind of miracles can your rabbi do?" And he says, "Well, our rabbi, he can turn water into wine and heal and do so many different things. What miracles can your rabbi do?" And the disciple smiled and paused for a second, and he said, "Miracles? I'm the miracle. If you only knew me before I got there, you would not believe the transformation." And that is the journey that ayahuasca takes us on. It is a miraculous journey to come back to the root of who you are. It is a journey of falling in love with yourself, truly, without fear, without shortening your winters or trying to avoid the difficulties or the pains of being a human being, with the understanding of the support that you have from the other side, with witnessing and acknowledging your beauty, your virtues, your vices. Very holistic and all encompassing journey.
Whew.
Back to you.
Wow,
To
wow.
start, to start.
Yes, yes. You know, what I have learned, what I've received through ceremony is, as one who's been using prayer, especially through dance, so deeply, I've really learned how to pray even deeper. And would love for you to speak about how the plant medicine really takes you, as you said, to really fall in love with yourself, unite with the higher spirits that are ready to take soaring flight with you, and then to really use it as prayer, because it's a night, it's 4 nights at Rhythmia of deep, deep prayer.
I'll start by saying that I have to admit, before I started my personal journey with plant medicines, I was for many years. I lived in an ashram for many years. Um, I studied what we call non-dual philosophy, which is more prevalent in these days in the sense of connecting to self, disappearance, enlightenment. That was kind of my journey. So in that kind of world, angels, beings, spirits don't really go hand in hand. Even when we're talking about Hinduism, we have Krishna and the gopis and the whole pantheon of the different beings. It's a means to an end. It's not that you're connecting to Krishna every day. Sorry, like, hey Krishna, can you play on the flute? It's not so much a personal interaction in that way. And of course not in Zen Buddhism. It's not so direct of an experience of divinatory beings. Ayahuasca kind of changes this game. And I remember I was maybe over a year in my own journey of drinking, still doubting. It's like I've seen magic and incredible things, but I kept telling myself, this is my own imagination. This is my higher self. But it's not real. I see angels. I see flying beings with wings. I see with my own eyes, open eyes, and I can't believe it. So I had one really powerful experience that actually I don't share very often. I was in Brazil with one of my amazing teachers, and I was upset. I had a fight with my girlfriend at the time because she said she was talking about God in a certain way. I'm like, no, God isn't like that. And we had a fight. And it sounds ridiculous, but anyway, I remember I'm running into the forest. I'm like, I can't believe this because it defies everything else I believed so far. I can't accept this new paradigm shift of relating to life as if there are angels and there are these beings. It just doesn't, no. So I'm walking in the forest and I'm like, I can't believe it. And then I lift my head and I see an archangel, an angel, in the most classic way, a person with wings, and I see with my open eyes. And I'm in the middle of the jungle right now. And I'm like, okay, this is the proof that my mind can project an image that obviously is not here. And I am basically believing or seeing what I believe or I imagine to be an angel. And then that being looks at me and he goes like this with his wings. Now I'm in the middle of the forest. There's no wind there. And my hair, I had long hair at the time, was flying backwards. And I remember having goosebumps all over my body. I'm like, how is this possible? Then what? Why? So I don't know if I can use curse words on here, but I literally said, no, who are you? I was like, what? I was so like, and the person says, nice to meet you, Archangel Michael. And I'm like, yeah, not really. And I'm like, not thinking, I'm just talking to an imaginary being. And I'm like, what if I don't believe in you? I don't believe you exist. The answer was, that answer actually changed the continuation of my journey. The answer was, it's okay. It's okay that you don't believe in me. I believe in you. That moment was a defining moment for me. And it doesn't matter to me if that's really happened, that there was a being, it was imagination, it wasn't an imagination, it doesn't matter. I actually was interesting. I came back to where the ceremony was held and it was time for the next cup. And the person serving held the cup and said, wow, you look like you've seen an angel. Again, further confirmation for me. But where all of this is leading is that you will, throughout this experience, encounter beings of unbelievable magnitude of beauty. But the reflection will always be, who are you? How incredible are you? How are you whole and accepting that which is happening within you? I always teach that ayahuasca gives you two things to look at. Either how beautiful you are, how incredible you are, how magnificent you are, how much you've grown, or what's in your way to seeing how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, all of that. And your job as a practitioner of this spiritual religious path is to bring these two together with equanimity. So when ayahuasca is showing you, you owe Parashakti $5, you have to pay back, you need to call your mom, all these that type of things, they are as amazing and as beautiful as looking at you are an incredible, magnificent human being. Your heart is the size of an ocean, and you're learning and you're growing to accept yourself fully as you're witnessing and seeing yourself more and more. And just to come back to our topic, thankfully, you have mediumship mentors, angels, archangels, consoling spirits, doctor spirits. You have so many different spirits around you to support this journey. And what's important is really that you're working with shamans or facilitators that can see this. They understand where you're at. They understand in what type of interaction. I'll share because it's important for me, and I know our time is almost up. It's unbelievable, but um, I'll share that I have participated in thousands and thousands of ceremonies by now. So often, someone is opening up to their mediumistic, spiritual mediumistic uh, channel. It starts to open when it relates to ayahuasca, and many times, facilitators or the facilitation doesn't know how to deal with that. And the person themselves doesn't know what's going on. Their body starts shaking, their hands are moving, they're speaking in different languages. There are what's called 12 different forms of mediumship: vision, hearing, intuition, feeling, languages, irradiation, the movement of the body, incorporation, receiving spirit within your body. There are many forms of mediumship to happen. So often when we drink ayahuasca, ayahuasca opens this right away, very quickly, especially if you know how to access these places. And suddenly you're sitting there in full communication with different beings and spirits, knowing how to navigate with an archangel, how to hold the feather or the hand of an angel, how to allow a consoling spirit to hold you in your grief, how to have, as a healer, a doctor spirit operating through you, offering healing for someone else. It is important when we study plant medicine to realize and understand that these things are there, and there is a possibility of learning how to work with that, how to utilize the incredible force, power that ayahuasca brings forth to study the deeper connection that we have to spirit. But it is a methodic and very serious study. It's not something that, yeah, let me just, no, it is a very important thing. We need to learn how to clean our body, how to prepare ourselves to an interaction with an archangel, how to handle what happens afterwards, the changes that come in our lives. So it was just important for me to put it out there. It is possible, it does happen, and it requires a lot of responsibility from the facilitators, from the receivers, from the participants to study and understand the effect of interaction with spirit in ceremony.
Huh. Wow. Yes, and that's why
I
the
tried to pack a lot into like a few minutes. I did my best.
well, all that you said and more, of course. And, at Rythmia, it's a 7-day all-inclusive pilgrimage and back-to-back 4 ayahuasca ceremonies, integration. There's so much there that's being held in the container so that one can shoot to the stars, speak to the moon, and come
And
home.
come back.
Yes, yes.
I'll say having it's really incredible that in Rhythmia you have the integration piece because that's really important, especially if you're having 4 ceremonies in a row. It's like a day in between, right? It's not 4 days. It's yeah. Then you because the expansion that happens when you do four ceremonies is quite a lot. When you do 4 ceremonies in a row in this way, you need to learn to ground because the expansion of what's called your perispirit, which is a completely different conversation, but your body, your spirit expands and you will start to get affected by other people. So it's important to learn how to clean this, how to work with this. Same thing for the facilitators. If they do so many ceremonies, how to clean themselves, how to prepare themselves to the continuation of the work. as someone who's been doing this for many, many, many years, it takes a lot of us. Takes a
Yes.
lot of energy, takes a lot of physicality, to prepare for such kind of work.
Well, I can't wait until you pack your bags and come and visit as a guest and experience the impeccable shamans that hold each and every night, and the integration that happens during the day, and the counseling there that each person that, needs a hand of support, a place to share from a heart to heart. We have it all there. And so, for those who have joined us, Kai Karrel, a dear soul brother who has been dancing this dance with the plant work medicine for many, many years. Such an honor to have you with us, and soon to be visiting Rhythmia.
I hope
Got to make that
so.
happen. Yes, yes. You're
We
going to
will.
just feel the familia, the medicine family there. My gosh, just such beauty, such power. So, aho! Thank you
Aho, house, house. Thank you,
so much for
sister.
joining us. And this is just a tip of the wisdom that you have. And I know that there's so much more that you offer. So perhaps in the chat, you can go and just share your information. I love you so
I'll
much.
be happy
Thank
to.
you.
I'll see you soon. House, house.
Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you.